first I'd like to congratulate Baylor. Thought they played a disciplined, tough, hard-fought game and deserved to win. You know, they took advantage of every opportunity they had to do the things necessary to win. They played with discipline, played with physical toughness, and situationally played incredibly well. Proud of our guys and the fight that they showed. Foundationally, it begins with that, but we just weren't good enough today. You know, the discipline, the physicality when we had to get a stop the run, or convert. Taking care of the football, maximizing or taking advantage of our opportunities when we did force a turnover. You know, we just didn't play complimentary football today. You know, their 3 turnovers turned into 10 points, and our 1 turnover was, we weren't able to score on. They converted 4th downs, 3 of 3. Most critical moments of the game, they were able to convert. And again, our 1 opportunity on 4th down there at midfield, we were not able to. Our offense was good in the red zone, but so were they. You know, we needed to force more field goals. First drive of the second half, we had a couple penalties down in the red zone, and one of them, after making a great play, and we get a hands to the face mask. And just, again, that was really how we played today. You know, we couldn't get out of our own way at the right times. Consistently, couldn't sustain momentum that we have. We can't go 3 straight drives and play good, clean football right now. At least we weren't today. So, again, Baylor had something to do with that, and but so did we. You know, and we lost all the critical areas from a statistical standpoint that you got to win. You know, outrushing, they outrushed us. They had less penalties than us. They forced more turnovers. They were better on 4th down. And again, in the red zone, we weren't good enough on defense in the red zone. Again, thought that our guys, will to win was there. And again, just timeliness and the precision and the timing that it takes. Again, and the toughness that it takes at the right moments. Well, we got to do a better job helping them. We got to get our guys better at playing with the discipline that it takes to win. Again, just the most inopportune times we were not at our best, and they were.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Moment in the fourth quarter, first play of the fourth quarter, just chose to punt, and then their big 4th down conversion on 29. Just can you take us through those 2 series? I know that could be 2020 something.
Yeah, no, again, a lot of it too is time in the game, and again, what we've done with our opportunities when we've had those opportunities. You know, are we what's the line of scrimmage doing? You know, so again, to me, not wanting to seal our own fate, was a big part of that decision, and again, it just wasn't the right time.
Did you like the setup on their last 4th and 1, the big play? Well, not the big play, but the 4th and 1 where they made 2. Were you confident that you had a shot to stop them? They're a great running team. They're tough to stop.
Yeah. Well, we had the A's and the B gaps with defenders lined up in them. So that's where they ran the ball.
Why do you think the team wasn't as physical today as what you would want?
I don't know. The other team was more physical. Why is that? I don't know. We got to be better there. We got to improve that. That's an area that we got to continue to work on and improve.
What do you think of Dylan's play today? I know obviously the turnovers in the first half, and just the way that those in particular unfolded, 3 tip balls in different ways.
Yeah, well, that's never any good. And again, we're just throwing it high and tips or picks. Throwing it late over the middle a couple of times. We can't do that. Baylor's a good, disciplined football team, and they took advantage of some bad decisions. But I love the fight, and I love a lot of things that he did, particularly, in the second half. I thought he had, came back and responded, in a great way. So, Obviously, those aren't ever any good. 3 plays and interception, 6 plays interception, and 5 plays interception, and again, we're fortunate it wasn't more, but we held them to 10 points, in those situations, and we got to be better.
Brent, what was it? Was it a combination of all, or was one more of a factor than the others when it comes to not getting the stops? Because you kind of had them in control there for just a while,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was kind of that zone play where it looked like there might have been a bust or two, and then a couple of times.
Yeah, we got caught out of some gaps, and they were 4 of 13, I believe, on 3rd down, and again 3 of 3 in the most critical times, and got out executed, outplayed, outcoached in all those situations. We got to be better. Not any one thing. They literally were running the ball left and running it right, and checking in and out of it. And regardless of wherever they're sending the run, we got to do a better job at physically being in gaps and having a gap sidearm and leg free and fitting aggressively and downhill. We got soft on our edges and our secondary run support at times, and they cracked us, and we didn't do a good job at crack replacing. They physically got after us, a number of times. We got swallowed up. They've got a good offensive line, do a good job at targeting you, and they're going to punish you when you make mistakes.
Brent, you alluded to the penalty on the play where David made the nice open field tackle there. Had a couple other critical ones, the one right before half. What do you see maybe a common thread through some of those issues, not only today, but this season with the penalties?
Yeah, they're happening at the most inopportune times. We got to play with better discipline. We got to be a disciplined football team. You got to make better decisions. Put yourself in a better position. Don't panic in the most critical moments. So there's a bunch of different situational things. You got to have a focused intensity about you. This is an intense, passionate game, but you got to have great focus to you. So whether they're false starts or the holding or, hands to the face or a PI, all those things, again, add up. And then, again, this game will punish you when, for whatever reason, whatever it is, he's pushing me. Yeah, no kidding. You want to play in this football team, you're going to play with discipline. So it's, got to be disciplined. Sometimes you got to learn from your mistakes, I guess.
Hey, Brent, outside of the opening drive, you never could get on top of them. You never could get momentum. How much did that hurt? Even if the field goal try, he has a chance to make that, so you never could get back on top of them. How much did that play in the game?
Well, again, when we have our opportunities, we weren't able to capitalize today. And again, some of that's the complementary football we're talking about. Again, we couldn't sustain the success when we had. There was plenty of moments of good things, and we couldn't sustain it. You're playing a good football team, and again, any mistake you make, they made it. They punished us for it today.
Really talking about toughness. How much of the toughness you're talking about is physical?
It's a little bit of.
How much of it's also mental?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, it takes the mental toughness with the physical toughness to do the right things in the most pressure situations, make the right adjustment. Trust the guy next to you. Play with the right fundamentals. There's a lot that goes into what you asked, and but it's a little bit of everything.
Where does the discipline, that's something that has been a common theme, I guess, in some of your losses. Where does that come from? How do you develop? Is it going to take time?
In some of the
and
wins,
years?
we're able to overcome it, when we're playing more timely. Maybe they're one out of 3 on the 4th downs, So, again, just, I don't think it's, in 5 wins, we had good discipline, right? In the 4 losses, maybe not. Is that fair?
That's kind of zero-sum game.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm just answering your question, and we got to be more disciplined. I've been talking about discipline for 11 months, and we got to be a more disciplined football team. And so it starts with coaches getting the players to play with more discipline, and then the players within the moment's got to play with the discipline.
Seen it progress then?
I've seen moments we play with great discipline, and today it wasn't. And again, plenty of critical situations where again we didn't. And it's like the ones that we didn't, they made us pay for it. And that's what a good football team will do.
The performance of Eric Ray today and getting him much more involved in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, Eric did today what he's done, again, all year, whatever we've asked him to do. He's as consistent of a player as we've had, ran with toughness, he's always straining, and he's a very, very dependable player, and it means a lot to him, and he makes those plays when he gets his opportunity.
Brent, we saw at the end of the first quarter there, Roy Williams getting honored for being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Just what do you remember from those days back when he was playing here?
From Roy?
Yes.
The game was really slow for him, in particular his last year. Pleasant guy to coach, same guy every day, very even-keeled, but he was ferocious on the field. I don't know I ever saw him miss a tackle, like seriously, and great speed to contact hitter, and just tremendous instincts. Played with great explosiveness, and a special guy.
Can you talk about Marvin Mims' game this week? Last week he kind of struggled, a couple of drop passes, looked a little mentally out of sorts a little bit, and this week looked better and more focused, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you have a couple of, again, the guy's been, amazing all year, so you have a couple of drops that's not an indictment. Sometimes that's the game of football, Sometimes you execute, and sometimes you don't. We can't expect anyone to play perfect. And I think he, for the most part, is close to as perfect as you could be. And so now, the bar's, through the roof, and unfairly, everybody deserves some grace, And so, again, Marvin today was who he's been virtually the entire season, Made a bunch of plays. Again, had 120 yards receiving, had 112 in the first half, which was just, outstanding. The most, ever in the first opening 30 minutes.
Did you think about challenging that punt, or threw it back and saved it, and then they called and said it was a touchback? Did you think about challenging?
Well, they check every one of those. You didn't have to challenge it. They check them all, and there's plenty of time for them to check it. So, that's what the replay's for.
Silly question, but your guys are coached to go all the way and put their heels on whatever yard line. It seems like they just haven't done that as well as
On the kickoffs?
they would like.
What are you talking about?
Talking about punting, the play you were referring to there. I was just wondering how you coach your guys in terms of.
You saw the Iowa State game, didn't you? Mm-hmm. We not pin them late. We had 5 defenders, 5 cover guys right there on the 1 yard line. And we did it earlier in the game against Iowa State, and we had a guy right there. I don't understand what you mean. They did a good job of holding us up.
Some teams do it a little bit differently. I'm just wondering, as a routine, is it get to the goal line or get to the 5?
We have somebody will typically face him, and then somebody's back behind him protecting the goal line. And I thought it was a tremendous effort by our guy in that situation. So we've been. Turk had a really good game. It takes him putting the ball where it needs to be early in the season. He didn't do as good of a job in pooch situations as we spoke about, numerous times. And I thought last week he did a terrific job. And I thought that was a well-placed ball today. Sometimes you execute it, sometimes you don't, but our guy was in position to do that. And then we run through the goal line on kickoff. But I thought last week against Iowa State, you saw us have 5 guys with the snapper coming in right at the end of the picture. They didn't do as good of a job holding us up. Baylor did a better job of holding up. That's what I saw today.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.